Hello and welcome to Everyday Linux User. In today's video we have a blast from the past. We have Ubuntu with the Unity desktop environment. Now I'm going to level with you. I've been playing around with this for a bit and I can understand why everyone moved to GNOME after using this. This is definitely not my favourite desktop environment. Now I'm going to show you around and I'm going to start off with how to install Ubuntu Unity. Start off by double clicking on the Ubuntu icon in the top left corner. Now to create a USB drive in the first place and boot into it, I've got a guide showing how to create a USB drive using Ventoy. But first off you need to install your installation language and then you choose where you are in the world, just click on the map and then you choose your keyboard layout. Quite straightforward. And then you choose what kind of installation. Full gives you every application you could ever want. Then you've got normal and minimal. So full will give you the things at the bottom like Element, Thunderbird, etc. You can also download and install updates following the installation. This will keep your system up to date as soon as you've installed it. I've chosen to do this. And then you can choose where to install. Most people will want to install alongside if they're installing alongside Windows, or they want to erase a disk and install as the only operating system. In my case, I'm dual booting about 7 or 8 different distros, so you'll see me here click the remaining free space that I've got, and I'm going to change the mount point to the /, which is a root partition, and click OK there. And then I'm going to go into dev sta1 and choose it as the EFI partition. And we click next and we set up a user. So I'm just going to give my name and I'm going to give it the PC a name, and then I'm just going to enter the password and repeat it. Click next to install and then click the install button. And then it asks you, are you sure? Because it is going to overwrite everything on the partition that you've chosen. So then I click install now and Ubuntu will be installed. So with Ubuntu Unity installed, the first thing we're going to do is set up our hardware. Now to set up the hardware, if you want network, you go up to this double arrow up here. And you can see I'm on a wired connection, but if you want Wi-Fi, you go down to available networks and you choose the one you want. And then you enter your password and then you should be connected to your Wi-Fi. The next thing is Bluetooth. I can't see a Bluetooth option along here anywhere. So you actually have to go and search for it. So to search, you click here and you've got all these options across the top, which can be selected by using keyboard layout. So to get to this screen, you just press the Windows button. To get to this screen, you can press Windows and A. This one's Windows and F. This one's Windows and V for video, and this one's Windows and M for media. I don't know what the photos one is. Anyway, we want to do Bluetooth, so we search here and we go Bluetooth. And then you just turn on Bluetooth like that. If you haven't got your device already set up, you just click plus here and then you do device search and it will search for it. I've already set one up.
Bluetooth mode.
So I can click that one and then it will connect. And that's that done. You see it's paired.
Disconnected.
The next thing is printers. So we're going to go up to here for printers. And because it's Ubuntu, all your hardware is going to work straight out of the box, especially key hardware like Bluetooth devices, printing, Wi-Fi. So with the hardware setup, what we can do now is see what applications are installed. So we can search the HUD, as it's called, by pressing the Windows and A key, and that brings up this list of applications here. And you can see recently used, installed, and dash plugins. So if we want to see what's actually installed, we click here, and you can see there's a lot installed by default. Now I've installed a few things as I was getting to grips with the system. But I'll let you know which I've installed and what's there by default. So we've got an image viewer, we've got files and Firefox. These are all default to the system. I installed Chrome and Kdenlive, and I'll show you how I installed Chrome later on. And indeed Kdenlive. LibreOffice is installed by default. You've got a few games like Mines, Mahjong, Sudoku. OBS I installed for recording the videos. Rhythmbox is part of the install, as is Shotwell, the photo manager. And then Spotify I installed, and I'll show you how I did that later on. And VLC comes as part of the system. So installing applications, by default, there is no default in Software Manager. Now you'll see here that I've actually installed GNOME software here, but that doesn't come by default. So to install that, you have to go to the Synaptic Package Manager. And you have to search for software. In fact, it's easier to search for GNOME software. You basically put a check mark and do mark for installation, and then you click apply. Now I also installed, as well as GNOME software, the Debian plugin and the Snap plugin. You can do the Flatpak one if you choose to do Flatpaks later on, but they're the ones I've chosen. Now snaps are by default turned on within Ubuntu Unity, so putting the plugin makes it work better. Whilst you're in here, you may as well also install Ubuntu restricted extras, because this will give you default fonts for things like LibreOffice. So all you have to do is mark that one, check that box, and click apply, and then that will install. It will pull up a license agreement, and you just have to accept the license agreement to be able to install the packages. But that gives you Arial and things like that within LibreOffice. So with that installed, you can now use GNOME software. And you can search for the things you want. Now you've seen I've done Spotify, so basically you go in there and you click install. Obviously it's uninstalled for me because I've already got it installed. So if I show you one I haven't installed yet, something like Steam, click there, and then you click install. And it's going to install the Debian package, not anything else. So that's how you install software. Now, the one thing you won't be able to install there is the Google Chrome web browser. So the way I installed that is you go to Firefox. And the reason for telling you how to install Chrome is it is the most popular browser on the planet. So if you're new to Ubuntu, you might want Google Chrome. So if we go for Chrome download in the address bar, click here. All you have to do is click download Chrome and then accept and install, and that will download the Debian package. And once that's installed, we go up here, we go into here, we click on files, and we go into our downloads folder, right click, and you open that with software install. Now it should say that it's already installed for me, and you can see it is installed, so it's saying open, but for you it should have the install button, and you just click install, enter your password, and away you go. So let's look at customization. This panel down the side, it's only got LibreOffice by default, and the settings thing hasn't got all these other things. So you see how I've got OBS Studio. If I want that to stay there, I can right click and do lock to launcher, and now that will stay on the panel. If I go into applications, and for instance I want files on that panel, I have to actually open it, I believe, and then you right click and do lock to launcher. There doesn't seem to be a way of doing it where you don't have to actually open the application. So for instance, if I want Kdenlive, I can't just right click on Kdenlive unless there's a shortcut that you have to press. No, I have to apparently open it like that. So that's a little bit, unless it's something I'm doing, it's a little bit naff. You can change desktop wallpaper, right click and change desktop background. So you just choose the wallpaper from here, And there's a few by default that you can go for, like we can go for a raccoon. Like that. You can of course add in your own wallpapers. By clicking here. Now, I'm not going to lie, this isn't the best tool on the world. It's quite slow. But if you've got pictures in your pictures folder, you just select it from there. Now, I'm not going to go too much more into it. There is a tweak tool. And you can tweak certain things, like you can tweak the panel. You can change the date and time on it. And the panel's the thing at the top. You can choose whether to have the power symbol on or off, volume, default player for things. You can change the launcher. You can make that auto hide, change the transparency, and the, whether it's based on wallpaper. You can have animations on or off. You can change the size of it. You can have a show desktop icon. Under search, you can have it so it says show more suggestions and things like that. Let's see what happens if you turn that off. You go to applications. I'm not sure what that does, to be honest with you. We've got a switcher, and this is your keyboard shortcuts. And then you've got additional here, and you can see there's some keyboard shortcuts on this as well. So I'm not going to go into Ubuntu Cinnamon too much more. Suffice to say that it crashes a hell of a lot. I've had crash after crash after crash. OBS has been a pain. It records video and then you've got this real bad noise over the top of it. The desktop crashes, you lose stuff. It's just, for me, it's unusable. I don't understand why you would use this over GNOME. Or if you don't want GNOME, there's KDE, there's the Cinnamon version, there's XFCE, there's LXQt. I just can't understand why anyone would use this in 2026. For me, it's unusable. The one thing I would say it has over GNOME is that it's X11 based and it's not Wayland. So if you want a GNOME type desktop that isn't Wayland, then you could go Ubuntu Unity. But personally, I do not recommend this at all. I don't like it. It crashes too much. It doesn't come with like the GNOME software by default. It's just, it feels like it's unloved. I don't know if that's fair, but that's the feeling I get. Anyway, that is the end of the video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you hate it, don't give it a thumbs down. Please just don't do anything at all. But hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time on Everyday Linux User.